Hi, welcome back guys. I've got a really interesting video for you today, and something that's very new to the market, or something very new that I've actually seen, is the Stability putter shaft. So a brand new shaft that can be fitted to any type of putter that you currently got, which basically, as the name says, creates more stability on miss hits, more consistency of the way that ball leaves that club face, and ultimately helping you to keep the ball on line better on the putting green. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit a load of putts with my putter, my personal putter, which is the Ping Sigma G Time with a standard steel shaft, 36 inches in length. I'm going to hit a batch of shots to a longish putt, get some dispersion of the golf balls, and obviously get a grasp of the feel. Very difficult for me to put that feel aspect across on video, but I'm going to get a bit of a feel of how that feels, obviously off the club face with the strike of the ball. I'm then going to go in the workshop in the pro shop here, cut the shaft off, and then fit the Stability shaft, then come back and hit that same number of shots again, and we're going to see maybe if that dispersion has improved, and also give you some feedback of the actual feel of this particular shaft. So just talking a little bit of the technology and what this Stability shaft is actually trying to do. So this is from a company called Breakthrough Golf Technology. It's pretty big in the US apparently. It's the first I've really heard of it coming over into the UK now, so I've been sent one to obviously review and test and put out for you guys to see what my findings is with this particular shaft. So as it says, Stability, it's a parallel shaft, so it looks really pretty thick. So the butt end of the shaft, which obviously where the grip will go on, is as standard as you would see in any other steel shaft, but then it stays parallel all the way down the full length of it, so it doesn't taper like a traditional putter shaft. Now, steel putter shafts haven't changed over many years. You know, iron shafts, driver shafts, the technology's changed, they've got lighter, there's loads more options. Putter shafts have really stayed as they are, apart from maybe recently where we've seen some introduction, maybe with like Odyssey doing a graphite and steel mix, but apart from that, typically putter shafts have not changed. So a steel putter shaft typically would have a little bit of flex and also a little bit of torque, and we get that standard with any golf shaft, even though you're making only such a short stroke. Now with Stability, there is zero flex with this, so there's absolutely no give in terms of a flex, and there is only 1% of torque, which in shaft terms is really unheard of, apart from obviously Stability. So it's a graphite material, but the wall thickness is quite thick, which obviously gives it rigid stability, you know, the stiffness of it basically. So basically it's saying when you misstrike the putter, or the ball on the putter face, say in the toe, you would typically get a little bit of twisting through the traditional steel shaft, and obviously that can make the ball jump offline, maybe come up a short in terms of ball speed, might be absorbed in through the twisting of the head, and obviously then you lose your distance control as well as accuracy. So Stability is saying even on your miss hit, it still hits that same distance, and the ball still keeps on that same line on those slight miss hits. Okay, so what we're going to do first, as I say, with my putter with the standard sort of steel shaft in, I'm going to hit a batch of putts to this length of putt, which is probably about, I don't know, 20 to 30, probably 25, 30 foot putts. So the greens here at St Anne's are immaculate. It's just the day after final qualifying for the Open, which was held here yesterday. So these greens are just beautiful. So I thought it was a great chance to do this video for you. So I've got 9 balls, going to hit 9 putts, and then we'll just see a dispersion. Obviously I know what this putter feels like. It feels really nice. I do like the putter, and I've had it in my bag for a while now. Feels quite sort of solid off the club face. A little bit short there, a little bit scared of hitting it because they do look very fast. Okay, that last one just caught that on the ball there. So there's 9 putts hit. As I say, it feels good. Just struggled a little bit with the pace there. First few I left a little bit short because they look really fast, as I say, a little bit tentative to hit that. Other few I hit a little bit better pace. Didn't quite get them up past the hole, but pretty close there from that sort of distance. So we'll look at that dispersion. Let's jump into the shop. I'm going to cut this shaft. I know I'm going to actually cut this, so once I've done this, hopefully this still a stability putter. I like it because it's in for keep, otherwise I'm going to have to put a new shaft back in this, and then we'll come back out and retest from this same distance. Okay, so I've now installed the stability shaft. So what I've had to do there, about 8 1/4 to about 8 1/2 inches up from the head, is you make the cut in your original steel shaft, and then stability shaft sits over the top, and obviously just glue it on from there, and then cut the actual length, butt trim it to your desired length of putter. So I've still got this at 36 inches, which is my length. I've done exactly that. It's all glued, and I've actually just treated myself to a new grip. So I've got a super stroke grip, which is very similar thickness to what I had on previously, so that's not really changing too much. Probably the only downside with this stability shaft is obviously you have to cut your original shaft. So if you put this on and you maybe don't get on with it, or you're not quite sure with it, you're sort of in the realms of having to put a brand new shaft back in your putter head in a way. So that's probably the only downside. It's not something you can attach on, and if you don't like it, you take it off. So maybe the only slight downfall to this. And I mean, they're not cheap either with the stability shafts. They're sort of around that sort of $200 mark. So, you know, maybe you've got to sort of go and test this first, make sure it's giving you the performance increase that you're wanting to then make that sort of investment, and obviously then start cutting your putter apart. So I'm hoping this works, because I've already cut my putter now. Okay, so I'm going to hit the same 9 putts again, same distance as we did last time. Obviously we've got a capture of what that dispersion is, but I'm really interested to see how this feels. Stability is sort of saying this is 25% stiffer than a standard steel shaft, so we're seeing less flex through the actual stroke, but it's 50% less torque, okay, than a typical shaft, so less twisting in that club face, which again I think you'll notice more on those off-centre hits. So let's get this first one hit. I'm really interested to see how this feels. It looks pretty cool. I mean, it's obviously a thick shaft there, but with it being black, it looks stable in a way, like the word says. It doesn't look like, you know, it looks a very solid sort of construction. Yeah, that felt pretty solid off the club face. Again, good line, just coming off a fraction short, similar to what I did with my own putter. Very different feel though. See, that was a little bit of a toe strike there, and that's done exactly the same as that first putt. And that's what I think this putter is all about, is those miss hits. You know, when you miss hit it, we're going to see less twist. And I felt like a hit toe, but it didn't really give me that, maybe that twist that I sort of maybe experienced through a steel shaft. Just feels really sort of solid off the club face. Yeah, lovely. Just seems to roll off the blade really nice. That's a nice putt. Yeah, just a bit short of pace. Again, it's not going to do everything for you, is it? You know, you've still got to make that stroke and put that actual stroke on it, you know, in terms of length of stroke and everything like that. So it's not going to be the miracle worker, obviously, as you'd expect, but, you know, it's trying to hopefully create those slight miss strikes, as you would see with typically with an iron or a drive. You get those little miss strikes. We lose distance, don't we? Have I got it? Have I got it? Ooh, just lipped that one. That was a nice putt. Okay, just hit that one a little bit hard. I wanted to try and get one up to the hole there. So I think, to be honest, that's a little bit more me than maybe the putter itself in terms of that distance. I've got a very consistent grouping of golf balls there, but they are short. I just feel like I'm a bit reluctant to hit it just because the greens look really, really fast here. So a couple I hit a little bit harder, which I can tell, and they've gone that little bit further. So that's more me just changing that pace as I'm reacting to the putts that I've hit. But to be honest, the feel of that, it does feel very, very solid, very, as the name says, stable through the shot. Definitely don't feel any sort of twisting, and certain putters you may sort of experience, I think traditionally, as modern putter heads that have actually got heavier over the years. The shafts haven't changed. Imagine the heavier weight here, you're anchoring it in obviously the grip end. It's going to create that flex through this middle section, which is the shaft. So this is where maybe stability is creating that more stable, less flexing, more consistent in terms of that strike. So it's an interesting one, really. I like the feel of that in first instance. You know, I've only obviously 9 putts in there. I'm going to go and explore that a little bit more and play around a lot of that, maybe have a few games of golf with it in there as well, and just maybe see how it works over maybe a slightly longer period. But post comments down below, let me know your thoughts of stability. Big in the US, we've got the likes of Tom Watson, Ross Fisher, you know, Justin Rose has been using this shaft as well, so interesting to sort of hear your thoughts as always. But if you haven't subscribed and you consider doing so, that would be great. You know, very much appreciate the support, and you can share the video around, hit the like button, obviously follow me on the social media platform, both Instagram and Twitter, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.